Now, I know I said I wasn't going to bother with Kent for a while, and I still mean that with regards to his main content, him running a script. I'm not messing with that because it's repetitive, a repetitive hellscape to endure, to experience, constantly to do videos. But I decided to check just to see if anything interesting had come up, and we have this from 4 hours ago, a live stream titled "Addressing the Rumors Again Again." Now, Dinosaur Adventureland has a lot of controversy surrounding it, a lot of, well, just to be point blank about it, a lot of rumors come from there. A lot have been substantiated, a lot haven't, but it's a pretty wild place. There's a lot of crazy stuff going on, and a lot of allegations that are not things you'd want to be associated with a place that, one, is supposed to be some sort of church slash ministry, and two, caters to children or families, but has a focus on getting children's interest with the whole dinosaur theming and the like. Now, the thing I've always found extremely funny about this is that this is something that Kent just directly addresses. Like, he doesn't have the sensibilities to be like, maybe I should, be more reserved in my addressing of this. Maybe leave it for his website as a matter of record. No, he goes on and just makes videos of this in between his Bible sermons, which he's running one right now. He's doing something in Psalms, whatever. More power to him on the Bible study stuff. But he will do these videos, and it's just so weird. And I hate to say it, honestly reminds me a very low level of the same stuff Christian would do, where anything that would happen would inevitably get a reaction out of him. So people would take advantage of that. And I don't know if that's necessarily happening here, that anyone is just making up random crap just to get a rise out of Hovind, because I don't think you need to just, fake some drama. There's enough actual stuff happening that, there's no issue there. You've got content to pull from, things to talk about, subjects to discuss. But I have an idea where this might go. I'm not sure at all, though. So let's see what happens. Here we go with Addressing the Rumors Again by our wonderful friend Kent Hovind.
Hello, folks. Kent Hovind here at Dinosaur Adventureland in Lenox, Alabama, Genesis Baptist Church. I love rumors. I found out so much about me I didn't even know. Rumors go, this small town stuff drives me nuts, brother. I can't.
Well, then why'd you pick a small town in bumfuck Alabama, man? I mean, I know the quarry was donated to you, so you can't exactly pick up and move the thing. You can't just pick.
Can't believe.
Oh, sorry. You usually can't just pick, wherever you're going to put it. But, this is a thing that happens in small towns and isolated communities. All they have is gossip and stuff. So, it's kind of to be expected, but you bring a lot on yourself for being, for lack of a better word, weird.
Believe it. Everybody knows everything about everybody, and they spread the craziest rumors. Heard a rumor yesterday. I'm driving south to Bruton, 20 miles. We're looking for a cheap vehicle for our farm people that manage our farm to run around, carry hay and food to the animals. I saw this old Toyota truck for sale. 90.
And I'm sure you probably begged them to just donate it to your ministry, because Lord knows you don't want to pay a dime on anything, Kent.
7. Let's see. Had a sign in the window, for sale. Toyota Tacoma 97, two-wheel drive, $3,500 or best offer. We need a truck like this for work, so I called the number. I said, hello, I'm standing by your truck for sale.
And he's always got to put that stuff. Hello, I'm standing by your truck. I've been a Baptist preacher for 50 years, and we're building a creation science camp in Lenox. It's like, dude, why do you always have to bring that up? Like, that will turn people away. Because it is coming on a little strong, a little forceful, and like, hey, I do this thing that's presumed good, so you better sell to me. That's what it feels like to people.
I've been a Baptist preacher for 50 years. We're building a creation science camp in Lenox. He interrupted me and said, I've seen and heard all about your place up there, and I'm not interested. I said, what have you heard, and do I get a chance to defend myself? He said, I've got property up there, and I know all about you. I said, sir, you can't know all about us if you have only heard rumors. Don't I get a chance to hear the rumors and defend myself? And he hung up.
I'll take conversations that certainly didn't happen that way if they happened at all for 500, Alex.
I'm calling to buy the truck. Now, in my country, where I live, you're allowed to face your accusers and give a defense. This is the Sixth Amendment to our Constitution.
So wait, Kent. You now admit that you live in the United States? And notice there, and this will become relevant in the video that I'm planning as a long, detailed work piece as opposed to a live reaction. That it's capitalized United States Constitution. Can't you can't have your cake and eat it too, which I actually prefer the can't eat your cake and have it too variation of that, but we're not getting into that. Um, oh man, Kent, you're a freaking sob sit. And you're going to talk about. Actually, no, it makes sense for you to talk about the Constitution because soft sits are all about that, except they don't acknowledge the rights the Constitution gives to the states and other municipalities to do the things they do. Except Kent is a states' rights person, as right wingers tend to be. So that's the thing I don't get. Is like you're obsessed with the idea of states' rights, but states' rights are granted from the federal government and from the Constitution, and you act like you like the Constitution, but you hate the federal government, yet you always want to be in charge of the federal government, too. It's the damnedest thing. Don't get me started on right-wing politics. I mean, there's problems with left-wing politics in this country as well. Let's be clear. The system's fucked either way, but, it's just the blatant hypocrisy here, and just the oddness, especially with someone like Kent, is where I'm going.
You have the right to face your. Who is accusing me? I keep asking people. It's about the fourth time this has happened.
Also, that's for actual criminal issues and legal violations being accused, not people saying, Kent, you're fucking creepy. I think you run a cult. I don't want to go anywhere near you. You have a bad reputation, buddy. Whether it's rightly earned or not, you've got it.
I say, what on earth are they accusing me of? They don't ever give me. What am I being accused of? And do I get a chance to defend myself? Please call it. Does anybody have the nerve to just come forward and say, here's what we heard? Okay.
I need to remind you that this channel is officially for a church and is intended for sharing of church services, religious discussion, conversation, education, and the like. But of course, it's mostly just Ken Hovind's soapbox to do whatever he does. And including, whining about this stuff rather than just focusing on, I've got to teach, this Bible lesson. Come on, Kent. And it would appear that for this, he has his little cult following in the church building, because much like Jim Jones at Jonestown, you have to attend these meetings. You don't have a choice in the matter. If he calls one, you gotta be there. Probably shouts over the radio, White Knight, Hovind, White Knight, Hovind. Everybody to the pavilion. I mean the church, Hovind. Man, that whole thing's fucked up. I'm sorry, I just had a moment thinking about the fact that Jonestown actually happened and just the details of it. Man, it's fucked up, and I really do draw some similarities between Hovind. I just think Hovind's too chicken shit to actually go through with anything that crazy. Speaking of crazy, he looks crazy in this paused frame. Be sure to screen cap that, because that's the face of a stable genius right there.
Come talk to me. Let me check. I would do it for you. Anyway, gossip shared by the misinformed who often sound like fools while creating ongoing drama and disorder.
Let's also make point that he took the time to make a PowerPoint presentation for this. This was worth his time. He says he's a busy man. He's always busy. He's always working. And he had time for this. Kent, you don't do shit.
Remember the old Bewitched series where Gladys Kravitz was always nosy neighbor, spreading gossip about what's going on? She was always trying to get her husband Abner to listen to her latest gossip.
Kent, I think most adults in the country, and by most I mean effectively 100%, except for those who live an isolated life away from everybody and have never been around another human being. In which case, I have several questions. So what I'm saying is, everyone knows what the fuck a gossip is. It's the 21st fucking century, Everyone's online. We all know how to use shit like X/Twitter, fucking Facebook, fucking everything else they got out there. Everyone knows about motherfucking gossip. Talking to people like they don't have a fucking clue about anything. Condescending ass prick.
He didn't want to hear it. The Bible says, "Thou shalt not bear false witness."
And no, I'm not mad. I just find this stuff to be fucking stupid. Just when Kent does this stuff. His methodology to this stuff. That he can't not do those kinds of things. He always has to bring up some sort of dated as fuck cultural reference to try to teach the idea that people as if people don't know, which again leads to my thought that he must have actually mostly taught young children as opposed to high schoolers, like he says, because all of these techniques, drawing an analogy from television and the like, are things you would do for younger people. Of course, in his case, these younger people would had to have been born in like 1962. Been watching reruns of Bewitched or something. I don't know. Shit.
Thou shalt not bear false witness against thy neighbor. Let's see. And the judges shall make diligent inquisition, and behold, if the witness be a false witness, and hath testified falsely against his brother, the witness that speaketh lies, and he that soweth discord among the brethren, and he gets stoned sometimes, depending what the crime is. Okay.
Oh, I'm sure he gets stoned, and then if the police find out about a stash, that's where a crime is committed, depending on jurisdictions. I'm not saying anything one way or the other. I'm just saying, there's a different kind of stone when you say get stoned, nowadays. We ain't thinking about being beat with rocks. Also, that's fair justice, Someone says something that's deemed untrue by some arbitrary standard that isn't, well defined in this ancient text. This 1611 translation of some ancient text, mind you. And someone's supposed to be beat with rocks. Which is also, I just want to bring up, you're bringing up biblical bullshit here, when earlier you were bringing up constitutional bullshit. Because you notice the Bible, I saw someone refer to it as the Bible, as in B-U-Y, space B-U-L-L, like buying bullshit, and I love that. This doesn't have anything about the facing your accusers or knowing your accuser thing. It's kind of funny.
So bearing false witness was really serious in God's law. You can read all the verses for yourself. He that spreadeth.
So then, what does anyone need you, Kent? That's the funny thing. If the Bible is printed, it's documented, it's there. Everyone's got a copy. I have one, Actually, I probably have more than one somewhere else, but I have the one I actually keep with me as a piece of reference. I guess I need to get more down the line. I'm gonna have a whole bookshelf of nothing but religious texts. People are gonna wonder why, and I'm gonna be like, it's my I was gonna come up with a fiction joke, but religious fiction was too obvious. I don't know. You get where I'm going. It's gonna be a weird thing eventually when I can get everything in order. Point is, can't you act like people? This is a thing with like pastors and stuff. It's like, if people can read the book for themselves, and if reading the book for themselves is supposed to help them figure stuff out, then why do they need clergymen of any kind? Why are there centralized focal points for Christianity, for these various branches of things? Why can't people just figure it out for themselves and that be that? Seems like y'all control it and you want to put your spin on it, which is exactly what it is. So you tell people, oh, you can read it for yourself, but it always has to be through your spin, through this preacher's spin, that preacher's spin, that pastor, that deacon, that bishop, that whoever. It's just the way religion is. I mean, you're always going to have, centralized groups with some sort of leader, subgroups splintering off from other groups and the like, but it's just weird when you say, oh, you can read them all yourself. It's like, okay, if I can, then what do I need you for?
Truth speaketh truth, spreadeth forth righteousness, but a false witness deceit. A false witness will not lie. Faithful witness will not lie, but a false witness will utter lies. They say the craziest things about me. And all you folks that are spreading this, listen to me, I'm accusing you of being a false witness.
Oh no. I have been so burned by Hovind. He is accusing me of being a false witness. I'm just sharing information presented from other sources. They're fat, right, or wrong, whatever. And I'm not even doing that. I just hear the stuff. I don't say much about it except what I know is fact. Once again, that you are a convicted felon of tax fraud, amongst other crimes related, and that you are a convicted spousal abuser. Now, I don't know the exact details on how that case eventually panned out. I've heard some things. Suffices to say, though, that you still were found guilty. So, you know.
If you don't come to me, tell me what's wrong, tell me what I did.
Now, here's the thing. You want people to come to you like you're going to say something. Kent, do you have pedophiles at your camp? No, of course not. And if they were, it's something they did 20 years ago. It shouldn't matter now. You would do stuff like that. And it's not a thing that I intrinsically don't agree in principle if someone has corrected and redeemed themselves in such a degree that society has deemed, okay, mistakes have happened. Although, mistakes like that are pretty hard to, I'm not defending any of that stuff. But I mean, you know, if someone's life has completely changed, okay, great. But you can't sit there and deny that that had happened and that this is a reasonable concern based on the context of the crime itself, some of the root causes, the nature of it. Sorry, this immediately got way too deep. I hope I conveyed that properly. It's just, yeah.
And give me a chance to defend myself. I hear the craziest rumors. There's dead bodies buried out there. We had a huge pig that died, and we took it up on the sand dune and buried it. That's it. That's all I know of.
And I'll totally buy that. I'm not thinking you got a bunch of corpses out there. That seems a little far fetched, given that no one's like explicitly disappeared and been like, where the hell are they? It's been 6 months. They went to DAL and then they never came back. It's like, only case of that you had was that kid who drowned. Had the drowning, because Kent says it like that, drowning. So yeah, I mean that's kind of fucking crazy. I'm totally for that. Like don't start making up lies like that.
Oh, one of the rabbits died last week. I think we buried that too. There's no. Okay. If a false witness rise up against a man to testify against him that which is wrong, let's see, the judges shall make diligent inquisition. And
I brought up earlier that this is supposed to be, Bible study and stuff on this channel. You wouldn't think drama like this would matter, but this is a bit of a clever spin he and other preachers do, is that they will spin it into some sort of Bible lesson to validate it. And one could almost argue, yeah, that's, that makes sense. That okay, you're kind of keeping it in thing, but it's like you shouldn't have to bring up the personal drama to begin with. So it's like you're still just using it as sort of an excuse to be able to go this route.
If the witness be a false witness that testified falsely against his brother, he gets in trouble. Read it all for yourself. Deuteronomy 19. There's a lot in the Bible about don't bear false witness. These things doth the Lord hate. 7 are in the Bible.
There's a lot in the Bible about murder. There's a lot about rape. There's a lot about genocide. A lot more about rape. Incest, don't forget that. Women lusting after donkey genitals and or something to that effect, and other shits, and I mean, why don't you go read that too? Tell me how good of a book it is after that.
Abomination unto him. Last one is a false witness that speaketh lies, and he that soweth discord among brethren. So Joseph was falsely accused by Potiphar's wife. She caught him by his garment, saying, "Come lie with me." She's trying to seduce him. And he left his garment in her hand and fled and got him out. So she went when the men came in the house and said, "See, he brought me in to mock me, and he came in to lie with me." And I cried with a loud voice, "She's lying." Read the story. She's lying.
Okay. People lie. I hate to bring up Jim Jones again, but there's the famous quote, the day before everything went to shit. People play games, friend. They lie. What am I going to do about liars? But you can be lying at the same rate about any given thing, defending yourself. That's the problem with lies versus truth, is that, one has to figure it out. And given you're a professional liar, it makes one wonder the validity of your counterpoints to claims. Now, when you're talking about, having to bury a pig, totally understandable. Totally. You do not want that thing setting out, getting rotten and stinky. You smell that the whole damn camp, the whole property. You get a rat dying somewhere, you're going to smell that thing through a whole damn house. So. But other accusations that I've heard, man, that's not something you can just hand wave away with an excuse and just say, nuh-uh. Those are some serious claims.
And Joseph got in trouble for this. Boy, in Alabama, if a woman accuses a man of domestic violence, the man's automatically guilty until proven innocent. It's crazy.
Sounds like we're referencing something there, aren't we, Kent?
Jeremiah was falsely accused.
Wait, I thought Jeremiah was a bullfrog. Was the song lying to me?
The princes were wroth with Jeremiah and smote him and put him in prison. And they had made a prison. Jeremiah entered into the dungeon and the cabins, and Jeremiah remained there many days. For what? He did nothing wrong.
And I just want to point out that one of the reasons it's such a pain in the ass to try to read the Bible is that it's written just so fucking poorly. None of it is just telling a story. And I know it's structured as a piece of reference material, but it's terrible at telling a story. It's just absolutely awful. And no one wants to. I mean, they want to fix it, but never really go too far. And, especially since Kent likes the King James version, it's gonna be pretty rough with the language because the English is still recognizable, but is a little rough compared to what we have today. As far as like just not having to stop and think about what's actually being said, very flowery language in some cases. But even converted into more modern English, it still doesn't tell a good story. It needs a complete rewrite to actually tell the story well, which is part of the problem anyway, in that it doesn't tell its stories well. So there's a lot of room for interpretation and subtext to be misinterpreted or applied just willy-nilly, to person's whim. Which may have been the point, but, it's like, doesn't do us any good now not knowing whether that was or wasn't the intention.
Read the story, Jeremiah 37. Jeremiah said it's false. It's not true what they're accusing me of. Mordecai was falsely accused. Let's see. He came before the king's gate in sackcloth. Anyway.
I didn't know Mordecai was in the Bible. Are the rest of the regular show characters in there? If so, I'm gonna party tonight. Yeah, you getting that reference out there? I hope so. If not, that's cool. But, if you do get it, or it's in the regular show and party tonight, you get a thumbs up from me.
Read the story for yourself in the book of Esther. Mordecai perceived all that was done. He cried out with a bitter cry. He came to the king. Can I defend myself? In Acts 22, men and brethren, hear my defense, which I make to you. It's perfectly fine. It's right. It's American.
Okay, I legitimately don't know this. Okay, the book of Acts, is it actually acts, ACTS, like acts of a play? That is hard to say. Or is it act like that and people call it book of Acts? I legitimately don't know. I'm going to look that up right now. I'm going to go find where's my book? Let's see, move the gun. There's that. Yes, in case you don't know, in one of the most Southern American things possible, I actually keep my gun on top of my Bible. A pure coincidence. It's just how they sit. Let's see. We don't want Sega Genesis. We want. Where do we go? Hey, there's a getting started section in here. Okay, that's cool. I'm going for NIV. Act. I don't even know if that's new or old. I legitimately don't pay that much about. Hey, Book of Ruth is in here. I thought that was removed. Huh. Learning something new every day. I do not see. There it is. Yeah, it's written ACTS. Page 754. So let's go to 754. Jonah, 754. 750. Yeah, it's X. ACTS. So he's got act there. I know that was a like way longer of a thing than it had to be, but I just found it funny that he doesn't have it properly titled there. Just really, really it makes me laugh. It's always the little things.
To hear what they're saying and give a defense. Except it doesn't happen in Lenox, Alabama. Okay? Small town. Paul was falsely accused, and it said the governor, brought him to court. He said, "Can I speak?" Yeah, they let him give a defense. It's okay to defend yourself once in a while. Acts 25. When he was come, the Jews came down from Jerusalem and laid many grievous complaints against Paul, which they could not prove. He answered for himself, "Neither against the law of the Jews, neither against the temple, nor yet against Caesar have I offended anything at all." Gave a defense. He said, "I didn't do anything wrong." In Psalm 94, "The Lord is my defense. The Lord God of rock is my refuge." So,
Okay. Oh man, we're getting into Cindy. Oh man, I'm gonna knock back just a hair. There he has PSA for Psalms. So wow, 94, 22. Man, I knew Psalms was detailed, but dang. Of course, it's all just a lot of short passages. My understanding. Point is, he has it as PSA there, so maybe that makes sense. Maybe it's a three-letter thing, so that makes that whole diatribe completely pointless. Um, Except that I saw that the Book of Ruth is in this thing, and I'm gonna have to look up some details on why that's here, because again, I thought it was removed from other versions. I could be completely wrong, as again, I don't study things I don't care about, so yeah. I guess this is the start of me actually trying to learn a little bit more about this stuff, and I feel like I've got a person I can actually contact for details and at least perspectives from the Christian side, from someone who I could actually trust to not bullshit me. In so far as they're still going to be religious because that's going to be their perspective, but they're going to give me a honest take on things from their understanding, better than Kent would. So, yeah, I might be in contact with them to get a few details for things just for personal interest. I may share that. I don't know. But let's continue with Kent because he's about to get into Cindy Lincoln. Oh, poor Cindy. She is a very, very sweet person from what I've seen. Very, very, like, you know, the wouldn't hurt a fly kind of person. She we'll just let Kent say his shit. We'll just go that route because I'm not about to get into the details. Let's see what he brings up, and then we'll bring up what I know on that.
"For the Lord is my defense. The Lord God of rock is my refuge." So, my ex-wife Cindy, I just saw this a couple days ago. Somebody said, "Hey, look at her profile." I said, "What's a profile? I don't know what that is." She's looking for a job. About time.
Oh, that's just kidding. I know you don't like her, Kent. That's below the belt, man. That's just rude. And I'm the champion of rude shit, but dude, that's just not. That's not gentlemanly. Okay, okay, that. About time. Fuck you, Kent. You get a job.
Said here, what is this called? LinkedIn. Okay? Here's what she said. "Most recently, I worked for 5 years in a science center where I created science displays using PowerPoint and gave guided educational tours." She's talking about us, okay? Right here. And she did a great job. Gave educational tours through the science center. I agree. She did a wonderful job. After the tours, I would handle product sales, customer service, and take donations. This was a very gratifying culmination of my teaching credential, teaching experience, writing, and research activity. I agree. She did a wonderful job, okay? Customer care. Additionally, I designed and maintained the landscaping grounds and did an awesome job. As part of the
And that's why DAO looks like shit now, because I don't have anybody who understands plants. They think you can just say magical sayings to them and they grow. And I don't know where I'm going with that. I just had to add something in. Oh, at least I'm still funnier than Kent.
Living Science Tour, I have substantial knowledge of plants and flowers.
Now, I hadn't thought about this since I got into botany. Really, more specifically, just the care of house plants, mostly succulents and related stuff, Juanitas and the like. ZZ plants. I love ZZ plants. Little slow growing crazies. Then all of a sudden they're like, "Hey, I'm going to shoot up new sprouts." Um, it'd be interesting. I wonder what her experience is in that general field and what kind of tips she would give, or just how she would comment on what I've got growing in here and how I'm taking care of it, or how I'm taking um, taking care when I make a mistake to rectify it so that the plant can continue to thrive. It'd be fun to talk to her about that.
All this is wonderful and true. Additionally, I would help customers in housing needs on the campus with the science of the Science Center and clean the Science Center. What a joy it was. Here we go. Unfortunately, the campus and Science Center leader, talking about me, well, her husband at the time, was caught in criminal activities. Now, Cindy, I can't talk to her, can I?
Ooh. Juicy drama. Ahoy.
So, okay, she's lying. I was not caught in any criminal activity. There is no criminal activity going on here. So with deep remorse, I must...
I don't know, Kent. As far as I'm concerned, all of DAL is technically a criminal activity. But that's for multiple reasons, both legal and ethical.
seek new employment. Well, don't blame me. You left. I didn't fire anybody. I've never divorced anybody, never hit anybody, never walked out on anybody. She left.
You may not hit anybody, Kent, but did you body slam him? Harvin, I slammed my wife into the floor. Break the tile, then blame it on her. Hovind. Shitty traumatization with a huge dude in a wig. Oh man. If you somehow haven't seen his recreation of the body slam incident, it is horrible to watch because, for one, you have to hear the audio of the actual event, which is pretty traumatizing to hear that poor woman get just straight up brutally hit like that. Slammed, abused, whatever words you want to use, but to have that horror contrasted with the most cartoony shit ever, it's ridiculous. Like, you couldn't make it up. It's not something someone would make up except Kent. Oh, God. Go to jail, Kent.
Okay. I got letters of recommendation from my job since I was 16. Good. I'm reliable, friendly, conscientious, well educated. Generally true. So, October 26th, almost 4 years ago now.
Hell yeah, this is what the focus is going to be, the body slam incident. Get ready for a primer on that if you don't know about it.
She had a screaming fit. You can watch on our other videos that she put up. She came in screaming, wanted me to, she'd have been up all night, sleeping in the other room, texting me, wanting to run the ministry, telling me all this stuff. I said, Cindy, my lawyer said I have to record this. So I turned my phone on. She's screaming and yelling, cursing, using God's name in vain. Give me that blankety blank phone. I realized this is going nowhere. I tried to walk around to go out the other door. We showed all this on a video. And give me that phone. So my left arm was nearly broken a couple weeks before that. I had to bandage it up. And I'm holding my phone, and she dove at me. I just simply pushed her off to the side, hit the shelf, fell to the floor, screaming and cursing and yelling, jumped up, slammed the chairs down, broke the floor, and I left. Okay? February 15th. What's that? 4 months later? October, November, December, January, February. 4 months later, she moved out of her own free will. So for 4 months, she lived with me. She wasn't afraid of me. She didn't need to be. I've never hit anybody. Our ministry kept paying her spousal support for 5 months. What we'd been paying her to do her science center tours, we kept paying her for 5 months. Finally, the trustees said, Kent, she's gone, and file an annulment. There was no state wedding, so you don't need a state divorce. There was a church wedding. You need a church annulment. So that's what we did. We filed an annulment July 19th. We stopped giving her spousal support, filed an annulment to the marriage, and she filed a report that I body slammed her back in October. 9 months later, she files a report that I body slammed her. Of course, the police jump right on that. Oh, he's guilty. The husband's always guilty. So, September 21st, Judge Hyde found me guilty of third-degree domestic assault, the least one there is, and sentenced me to 30 days. That case was set aside and is null and void. It's no longer true that I have a conviction against me for domestic violence. It's not. Don't stop spreading that lie. It's not.
Okay, Kent. This is now the opportunity for you to show the documentation that validates that claim that it is somehow, null, void, what have you. A case being set aside, from my understanding, And I should get Attorney Anderson in on this one, honestly, to see what he has to say about that. Um, my understanding doesn't mean that it just didn't happen. It's like the sentencing is, and the actual execution of the sentence has been set aside. So I'm gonna call BS. Yeah, I don't know, man.
Not true. There's a new trial coming with Judge Jack Weaver. So right now there is no domestic violence conviction. There is not. I've been waiting for 3 years to go to trial over this. I think all of them say, I wish the DA would drop this. There's no case. We had, four? I know 3 people, maybe 4, signed an affidavit. Said, I was with her after the event. She said he did not body slam me. And those old affidavits are sitting on the judge's desk. She said I didn't do it. She's just looking for money, that's all. She's desperate. And I feel sorry for her. I really do. I mean, she was my wife. I loved her. But she left. I made a promise. I kept it. She left. What do you do? Corinthians talks about that. When the unbelieving depart, you're not in bondage. Anyway, so what do you do? She's saying, what did she say exactly here? The Science Center leader was caught in criminal activities. That is a bold-faced lie. Okay? Don't spread that rumor about me. Maybe that's what the guy with the Toyota truck heard. He knows all about me. Well, if you heard it from her, you don't know anything about me, okay? Okay. Another crazy rumor. A lady in distress came to see if we could get some help at Brother Hovind, I don't have anywhere to live. I'm desperate. Can I come help there? Can I stay?
Well, this is new to me. Let's see where this goes.
I just need a cabin to stay in. So we put her in one of our there are nice cabins here. She had 3 extremely lazy daughters. Oh, she had since, should be since, misspelled here. She had nowhere to go. She had 3 teen daughters, laziest girls I've ever seen. You knew them, right, Joe? Yeah. I told her she could help keep the cabins clean for guests, but all of them had to be at breakfast at 7:30 and staff meeting at 7:45 to be assigned jobs if they weren't in school, and they were not. Okay. For several months, we had a battle to get the lazy teens to do anything. Couldn't they? Sad story. Anyway, they wanted to sleep till noon and then play on their phone all day. They never missed an opportunity to eat, though. I told the mother she must fix the problem, or the ministry could no longer give her free housing and food if they didn't help. The mother was frantic to get the girls to get up in the morning, but nothing seemed to work. I told her I would help her get them out of bed if the way my dad would do it. If she wanted me to, she said, please do. So the mom and I went into the room one morning about 9:45. The oldest one was still sleeping in bed. I'm going to guess she was 15, okay? Okay. I asked her to get up, but she ignored me, so I lifted up one side of the bed and she rolled onto the floor. The bed was already on the floor. It wasn't on a frame, It's already a mattress on the floor. Rolled her off the mattress. She still ignored me and her mother. Get up, get up, get up. Okay. I asked her mother for a cup of water and poured it on the lazy teen. She finally got up. That's the way my daddy would do it. We ended up having to ask them to leave DAL after supporting them for several months like this, doing nothing except eating, okay, and using air conditioning and utilities. The mother was great at cleaning cabins, but just simply could not get her daughters out of bed. After they left, that lazy teen began telling people she was in her underwear when this happened, even though she was fully dressed. She lied. Then she said, she kept adding lewd details. I poured the cold water on her. Her mother handed me the cup out of the sink, okay? Poured water on her. And so so she had thin white clothing on so I could see her body parts. First place, none of that is true, but she has to do this to make herself look good.
Oh, so much drama. I don't like drama. I really don't. And I don't follow the drama of Kent for the drama. It's more of a means to an end to see where it all actually goes. And the thing is, given, again, what I've heard about Kent, and given what tends to be the nature with people like this, and I hate to cast, a broad net, paint with a broad brush, excuse me, to generalize this way, but y'all don't exactly have the best record when it comes to not being perverted creeps. So, no evidence one way or the other, but I don't know, Kent. You just don't have the most trustable background. I'm sorry.
It's not true. They're lying, okay?
Let's see, the fact that you have to bring this up, again, why would you bring this up? Period. This is something you really think should be kept private. The fact that you bring it up, methinks the Hovind protests too much. Makes you seem kind of guilty.
I'll give a defense in front of any court in the world. In front of God, we'll give that defense, okay? So somebody said there's a pedophile ring at DAL. Joseph, how long have you been here?
5 years.
5 years? 3 out of the last 5. Is there a pedophile ring here?
Let me ask, the people who live here, is there something going on that's bad? I'm trying to defend myself and I'm your leader. Is the leader bad? Is my little fun campground bad? No? Okay. Come on, Kent.
I'm up looking at a dinosaur sign up here, taking some measurements to get another one made, and there's an old man came up there and started putting up one of these political signs, vote for George or something. I said, hey, you live in the area? He said, yeah, I've been here all my life. I said, well, come down and visit our dinosaur adventure. We got to talking. I said, the craziest thing happens. We get rumors going around here, like, what's going on? What did I do here? He said, this town is crazy for that. He said, whenever somebody new comes to town, the old timers, like if you opened a coffee shop, this is what the guy told me. If you opened a coffee shop, they would stop in for coffee and say, how's it going? If you said good, they would be upset because they don't want anybody to come in here from outside and succeed. If you said, well, I'm really struggling, having a hard time, that rumor would go all around the county. He's struggling, he's having a hard time, I'm going to get out of here. See, but I came in here, I have a worldwide ministry. People all over the world help us and support us and buy my videos, and so if the local people don't help, it doesn't really matter. I mean, I'd like to be friends with everybody. I try to be friends with everybody.
Doesn't seem that way, Kent. Not the way you talk to people.
We've sure brought a lot of money into this county. All the building we've done brought a lot of money in. But people buy my videos from all over the world, so if the local people don't like it, okay, don't like it.
People are watching my videos from all over the world. They read my writings from all over the world. It's pretty cool, isn't it? It's what happens when we have a global society. But, you're scared of some kind of one world anything happening. It's a little too globalist, isn't it? It's okay when you're doing a globalist, but when anything else is turning the frogs gay, that's a problem. Hovind likes gay frogs. I don't know. I'm bored with this at this stage. Let's just finish it up.
That's fine. So here I got this guy with the Toyota truck for sale, and let's see, there it is. I still like to buy it. Oh, I'll get over here, brother. That's okay. Or maybe I don't know. But what do I do now? You got an old truck or something for sale real cheap, or donate to the ministry? We could use a couple of them down there, actually. Poor Garrett drove here from Utah, and his, Idaho, a little Nissan, 95 Nissan extended cab truck. Motor blew up. And so we need either a motor for that or else a whole new truck or something. Anyway, simpler to get a new truck. Okay. So what do? This guy, he claims, I know all about you. Sir, you know nothing about me. I've been a Baptist preacher 50 years. I've tried really hard for 55 years that I've been saved to serve God and keep my life clean. I have nothing to hide. Give me a chance to defend.
Just as a break from Hovind rambling, and part of what I've been doing this time while I've just let him speak is looking up the whole Book of Ruth thing. I guess in discussions with a friend when I was younger, I was misinformed. Apparently that book is standard in the Old Testament, so I was definitely wrong on that. It must have been another text I was getting mixed up on. Also, it looks like it might be an interesting read, because you don't hear much about it. Man, Psalms has a lot of chapters. Right, anyway, back to Hovind rambling about his truck and people not wanting to sell him something. Apologize for yawning. Doing it live. Yeah. No one wants to sell it to you. Get over it. Yeah, it sucks, people having rumors about you. You're not the most likable person, though. You've done some sketchy shit in the past. People don't forget sketchy shit, and if you have a record of being very, very, let's say, they're going to look at any other claims against you with more validity, with less scrutiny than they normally would if you didn't have this track record.
Myself. If you have heard some rumors about me, Somebody's lying if they're saying something bad. The people who come here and live here and know me say, it's great, unless they want to try to get money out of me, like the ex is out there still trying to milk money. She kept her last husband in court for 10 years, trying to get money out of him. That's all she wants. I didn't do anything wrong to her, never hit her, never cursed at her, never raised my voice. I was a great, wonderful husband. And she left. What do you do? Move on. Okay, I don't want to spend my life on this. I spend my life, brother, I've been up for...
Yeah, you do, Kent. You spend your life doing all kinds of bullshit. Also, you've been married, in quotes, 4 fucking times. I should tell you something. 3 of those in under 10 years.
Hours working on this sermon for tonight on Psalms chapter 19. We're only going to cover 1 verse. Maybe we'll get through 1 verse. That's what my life is, isn't it? I preach 6 times a week here, and I put hours, 5 or 6 hours into every half-hour sermon. I really take it serious. Then I give tours. I gave one this morning. Now I got to take the Honda down to a guy who wants to buy it so we can get some money to keep the ministry going, the Honda side-by-side, because we're broke, okay? But we're not looking for trouble. We're here to help the people.
Ha ha, DAL's broke. Except it's probably not. Kent's pockets are probably lined with fucking gold. Not literally, figuratively, but I'm sure he's got some shit stashed everywhere, because this is a professional con artist here. So you know he's got ways of hiding money.
So you guy with the Toyota truck, I've got his phone number. I'm going to send him a link to this video. I don't even know your name, okay? And I'm not going to talk to you again. If you don't want to talk to me, fine. But listen to me. You are welcome to come visit Dinosaur Adventureland. We have nothing to hide here. And if you have believed rumors about me, you're listening to a false witness, okay? Don't do that. You should come give me a chance to defend myself. If I missed one of the rumors you heard, tell me about it. Give me a chance to talk. That's America. Read the Constitution, 6th Amendment. I know it's not a trial, but don't do it. It's sad to do that. The Bible says a lot about the man of God. If a prophet, if somebody does something bad to one of God's messengers, God gets upset about that. Listen, I am not perfect by a long shot, but I love the Lord and I'm trying to do right. And I read his book and I know it pretty well after 55 years of studying it. And I think I can help a lot of people. And that's all our ministry exists to do. How many people have we taken in?
Okay, then why don't you actually do that, Kent? You're so fucking obsessed with yourself. Everything's a promotion about come down to DL, come down to DL. It isn't just about getting the message out with you. That's not the end goal. Your obsession is getting people to DAL. If I were preaching, if I believed in this book sitting beside me and wanted to share the message that I interpreted from it, I would just be sharing that message. I wouldn't need a fucking theme park. I wouldn't need all this production like you have. I'd just be doing this. Sharing what I think, just as I do now. That's all you need. That's all it should be. That's why there's people, religious scholars out there, preachers, people in this field that I can respect, who, even if I don't believe the stories in this book, I can respect their approach, where they come from, and at least let it be, coexist peacefully. And I hate the coexist concept because it's bullshit. But in small isolated pockets, on an individual basis, it is a valid thing that one can do. You're not it. You're all about the drama. You're about the greed. You're about everyone coming to this DAL. Come worship Kent Hovind. Come love Kent Hovind. It's not come love God. Because you don't care about God and Jesus. You care about the dang book. All you care about is a book from 1611, custom written, so that some fucking British king could get away with some shit. As far as my understanding of the KJV goes, that's the origin of it. So he can get away with some shit according to the church or something. I'm not sure. Again, I don't care that much. Because as far as I'm concerned, none of it's true anyway, so it's irrelevant who makes fan fiction variants of it. But you base your ideas on it. So I'm going to target it, just like I target you. Because you prop yourself up as such a good person, and you're not. You do these videos trying to defend yourself, and you don't... It just comes off weird. The innocent person has, in cases like this, wouldn't have anything to defend against. You wouldn't feel the need to fight the claims because you'd be more focused on just spreading the word. But you're not. You're mad because people talk shit about you, and you have to react to it. It's all about Ken Hovind. Feel bad for Jesus. Like I legitimately do for the character that you believe in, because you're just using him for your own. You're using Jesus for your own glory. That's sacrilegious as fuck, Kent. I pity you. I'm done. Thanks for watching. I'm gonna go to sleep. Hope everyone has an awesome day, night, whatever. Had some pets die recently. Friend had to put their dog down today. It's been a rough time. Much love to everyone still here in the video. You all rock. Catch you on the flip side.